Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praise and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth, and to include the elder bishops on down. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Brakatham, to you brothers out there of the hopeful elect, as we believe that we are. And it's your brother Laban. Once again dealing with the topic of these rich people, especially first beginning with these entertainers. This channel called The Business Insider has made a video speaking on how you have many celebrities and other rich people that are building these bunkers because they know that the time is upon them of a nuclear destruction. All right. And just to simply put it, as I'm going to entitle the video, anyone that's in the soils of America, on or under the soil of America, will be destroyed by those nuclear missiles, which is going to be shot from other nations, and as Bible prophecy has it. All right? Because according to what Isaiah saw in the vision, as I'm going to read, the burning of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, and shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And that's exactly what we're doing when we hit them streets. Guess what? The recording videos that we do live, you best believe you mean there's powerful people somewhere on the whiz that's watching what we're saying, and they're paying attention to what we're saying, because we hold the most important message to them. All right? And it's coming from the Bible, which the Bible is a book of prophecy. And they know this. But they're hoping like maybe they can somehow, some way escape and override the prophecies. And I could understand why they would think that. But you can't escape the Lord, can you? Everything that's happening now and the thoughts that we think has already been pre-scripted. Everything in this life has already been pre-written. All right? There's no free will. It may seem like it, but realistically it isn't. As it is also written, man's goings of the Lord, and how can a man understand his own ways? All right? Because if we had the free will, then there's things that we should have not had done that we've actually done already. People have said many things that they wouldn't have done, but they choose to do it anyway. So that tells you that there's no such thing as free will, and even good things. Just to include verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, and even them that rejoice in my highness, which would be the angels. And that reminds me of what's written in the book of, I think it's Sirach somewhere, where it reads, matter of fact, let me go and pull it out, because I can see myself butchering that. Let's go to King James here, and we're going to read. I'm going to have to type this in. Here it is right here. Sirach 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts and scorpion serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. And they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Exactly. So there's spirits that are created into doing the Father's will, whether for evil or whether for good. And what I also want to read too is this as well, because there's angelic forces that we don't see that are going to manipulate men to bring these missiles in effect. That's in the book of Revelations, the 7th chapter. Right? You have, the 4 angels. And these are responsible for holding back the destroying winds. Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth. And what are the 4 winds? The destroying winds, which is also in the book of, I think, Isaiah somewhere, of the earth. That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So that's the nuclear missiles that they're holding back, which when those missiles hit ground zero, what comes out of those missiles? Devouring fire and that great wave, that destroying wave of wind, which is going to come out of those missiles. And that's when Peter's prophecy is going to come to pass, that all of the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right. So let me go back and read this again. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, and even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh, the host, the muster of the hosts of the battle. And they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So the whole land of America will be pelted with missiles, and so that the whole land will be laid to waste. That's why it also reads, how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold on them, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, and they shall be amazed one at another, and their faces shall be as flames. Yeah, they're going to be amazed when they see those missiles coming from out of the sky, because America has never been pelted with drones, missiles, any form of destructive weapon that other countries have suffered. So the American people are going to bear witness to this event. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir. I want to get to the point here. I want to get right to the point, because in this chapter, it explains exactly that there ain't going to be a soul to touch the grounds or the soil of America. Here we have it. Isaiah 13:19, which I'll begin there. And Babylon and the glory of kingdoms. And this Babylon that it's referring to is America, because in ancient Babylon, this never happened. What you had happened is that the Medo-Persians took over Babylon with war, and people still lived in Babylon after that. Even today, you got people that are still dwelling in Iraq, which is where Babylon was. All right. So what Babylon is this referring to? To make spiritual sense of this, you would have to say it's America if your eyes are open, if the Lord have given you the spiritual ability, which is the Holy Spirit, to see this. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, and the beauty of the child, these excellency. And just to mention as well, you've also had Bible scholars, Christian scholars, that have come around this. But before they even come around this, we've already been teaching this. shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Because when you check out Sodom and Gomorrah, how was Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? They were destroyed due to those brimstones which came down upon the city. So those missiles are going to be equivalent to the brimstones, which is going to pelt every state until there's nothing left of America. The America that we've once known about, grew up in, or grew up seeing outside of, you ain't going to see that anymore. As this reads, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, and neither shall the Arabian pinch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert. So what is this basically saying? That a soul ain't going to be on that land. A human soul, let me correct myself. A human soul will not be on that land. All right? But the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. You're going to have snakes, lizards. That's what it means by dragons. You're going to have serpent-like creatures there. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged, especially in this time that we're living in. Oh, absolutely. So these people over here, these rich folk, they're what the Bible is referring to concerning the rich. You know, but these celebrities ain't the rich that the Bible is talking about. They could lose their money tomorrow. And I mean, there's so many stories you can read of celebrities losing their money right before their death or after death, showing you they ain't really have all that money anyway. All right. Yeah, so now I want to read this as well. This is 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So I read this to say this, because in this video, you have a man which is being charged a lot of money to build these iron bunkers, right? So you would think, okay, well, a big iron bunker such as this, a missile can't penetrate this. There's no way a missile can penetrate this iron bunker, especially if it's under the ground. But guess what? When I typed in, which is quite obvious, but I just wanted to type it in to make this lesson a little bit spicy, right? So as this reads, yes, a nuclear missile can melt steel, but not the entire missile or a large amount of it. And its effect depends on the distance intensity of the blast. And speaking about intensity, the nuclear fire that's going to be burning in America, because you're not going to just have one missile that's going to be hitting America, or 2 or 5 or 8 or 10. It's going to be thousands of them hitting America. So even if there was an underground bunker made out of strong, thick iron, guess what? That shit can be broken apart. All right? Them iron bunkers are going to be broken apart easy. It ain't going to have to take much, because Isaiah 13, this prophecy will come to pass. All right? The Lord said it, and so shall it be done. So let me do this instead. Let's go. Yeah, so what I did was I typed in to get this website, what is the melting point of iron? The melting point of iron alloys at the melting point of steel occurs at its highest temperature around 2,200 to 2,500. My head is spinning. Fahrenheit. So America's going to be a lot more harder than this when the missiles are being shot forth, and for the most part, hit ground zero. It's going to be a lot more harder than this. So anything that's in his path, as the Apostle Peter described, everything's going to be melted away. And he didn't say with heat. He said with fervent heat. Let's even read that in the book of Malachi. Let's bring this out. The book of Malachi 4 and verse 1. Malachi 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So there you go. So America's going to be destroyed until there's no branch. There's no root, He's going to destroy it from the root. Because when you take a plant from the root, that's the whole plant. So the whole nation itself is going to be totally annihilated. It's going to be destroyed. It ain't going to be no third resurrection of Rome. All right. So if you are in the soils of America, whether you be rich or poor, middle class, you're going to stay there. You're going to be a part of the soil there. All right. However, changing the topic now, what I want to do is I want to read this again, and then we're going to go to the next topic. Reading Peter's prophecy, 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So he said fervent heat. He didn't just say heat. He said it's going to be fervent, which ties into Malachi 4 and 1, because those ancient time ovens, they got hot within seconds. You see, the ovens that we have right now, you can actually graduate the heat. But the ovens at that time, it got hot real quick. So we can only but understand how hot America is going to be burning for with those missiles. This is Bible prophecy. I'm not just talking about this from the side of my neck. I'm speaking about Bible prophecy, and the message is the same. So as this reads, to burn up, to set fire to, this is what, let me check this out real quick. Oh, it's the Greek. I thought it was the Hebrew.
Strong's G 2741 Kausao.
Yeah, which means to burn up, set fire to, suffer with feverish. That's where you get the word fever from. Feverish burning, be parched with fever. Right. Because when your body is intensively hot because you're sick, they call it a fever. So much so you have sometimes you end up having sweats or cold sweats. Like when a woman's on her especially older women, when an older woman's going through menopause, she has hot flashes, which is some sort of a fever. All right. So it's going to be hot. Even an iron bunker such as this is going to be destroyed. It's going to melt while they're in it, and that's going to be a painful way to go. So as Isaiah 13 says, that you're not even going to have an Arabian pitch a tent there and a shepherd. That's telling you something, man. That's basically letting you know the deal. There ain't nothing going to be left. And Isaiah 34 further explains that as well, which I don't have to go and get. So I want to get to the next point, and I'm going to say, however, what you will have is the elite, the ones that have never worked a day in their life, the ones that own people, the ones that own all governments, the ones that own all of these banks, the same people who we pay taxes to. These are the people that's going to survive the nuclear holocaust, only for the sake of their enslavement. Amos 9:1. As this reads, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door that the post may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity, here it is, before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. So the elite are going to be searched out. And that's what it means where it reads, and take them out thence, right? So we're going to take them from the grounds that they've digged into. That's what it meant, that as this reads, though they dig into hell. All right. Meaning they're going to be digging in those grounds, creating underground bunkers that's going to be livable in there, so that we can take them and execute them upon them as it is written. All right. Execute them the judgment that is written. That's in the book of not Isaiah, Psalms 149, if I'm correct. All right. But the ones of them that are in those bunkers, we're going to take them, and guess what? They're going to be the new boys on the block. We're going to be the new masters. They're going to be calling us master, which actually means burden. And we're going to be a burden unto them. All right. We're going to be able to take everything that they got, including their women, and just as well as they did to us in the 16, 17, 1800s. It's going to be the same thing, but I would say even double. The way that they did us was totally unjust. All right. So the Lord is going to pay them back, and he's going to have his people do the same thing that was done unto his people. And that's what's going to happen, man. So the rich, they're going to survive this. And when I say the rich, I'm not talking about these celebrities. I'm talking about the billionaires, trillionaires, primarily the trillionaires for the most part. Okay. And that's why they're setting up billionaires building doomsday bunkers. What are they not telling us? Could doomsday bunkers be a reality soon? AI and climate change have threatened the human existence. Reports suggest several tech billionaires are preparing safe houses for themselves, and one country is the hot destination for these bunkers. Tech billionaires are serving the people with last in AI and high-end technology, and seemingly are aware of the potentially dangerous world they are creating. And this is why several of them are said to be making doomsday bunkers for themselves and their families. Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, and Ilya Sutskever are some of them who have talked about the might of AI. So who are building bunkers or are preparing to run to one when AI general intelligence becomes a reality? And you know, too, really what they're running away from? Yes, they're running away from the nuclear destruction, but you know what else they're running away from? Also running away from the Lord's return. As this reads, Revelation 6 and 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of the Lord, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Absolutely. Ain't nobody going to be able to stand before that. All right. Oh, yes. So this is what's being prepared on this earth. A chaotic scene is getting ready to be witnessed. And there's going to be other things that's going to transpire. So, yes, you're going to have these people that are building underground bunkers on America. And like I said, there ain't going to be a soul left on the soils of America, under the soil or on the soil. But what you will have is you will have the elite, the super rich. They're going to survive this thing. All right. They're going to survive it. Because where we going to get our slaves from? We're going to have to get our slaves, right? So everybody ain't going to die. And you're still going to have some people on the earth roaming around. So we're going to have a decent amount of slaves. But a large portion of people will die due to this nuclear destruction that's going to be hitting different places around the world. But the main place which would be no more is America. That's the Babylon which would be totally annihilated, as Isaiah 13 put it. Yeah, so I just had a scripture in my head, man. I just had a scripture in my head that I wanted to read. It wasn't Isaiah 34. I'm just typing this in. Hopefully that scripture can get back into my head. Yes, it was Psalms 149. Yeah. Psalms 149 and verse 1. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him, and let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance, and let them sing praises unto him with the timbrels and harp. For the Lord Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people, and he will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory, and let them sing aloud upon their beds. Verse 6, which is the point, and verse 7. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. Absolutely. So again, the elite are going to survive, and you're going to have, the rebels there, the rebels among our people that we're going to have to get right. And then you're going to have other nations that are going to be there. So we're going to have a good, decent amount of crop of slaves to build up our kingdom. All right. So this is what's coming next, man. This is what's coming next. We just got to just wait to see the society crumble apart as it is, as it was written anyway. It's been a long time since we've been preaching this, just as well as it's been a long time since Noah's prophesied of a flood to come, and it came. And it's been a long time since we've been prophesying of the downfall of this civilization, as Bible prophecy speaks on, and now it's starting to speak. And more will unfold. So with that, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKwadash, and double honors to the apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth, and to include the elder bishops of Connecticut. And Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai Brakatham, to all of you brothers that are pushing this truth of the 144,000, and as well as the rest that follow, who is the 1/3. Shalom.